I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that I love Italian wines. I lead tours in Italy twice a year. I've been there 9 times, studied abroad there. I love the culture, the people, the wines, and not for nothing, it is the largest producer of wine in the world, so it obviously is incredibly significant. This spring, I had the opportunity to take a group to Sicily, and one of the wines that I sort of rediscovered was Cerasuolo di Vittoria. It is the only DOCG on the island of Sicily, awarded that DOCG in 2005. And it is really an awesome blend. So it is required to be Nero d'Avola, which is the big red of Sicily, and Frappato, which is less well known, but it's such a beautiful wine, both on its own and also in a blend. Frappato brings acidity and floral lift to a blend. It has berry aromatics. It's excellent on its own, but to Nero, which is heavier, has lots of dark cherry notes. It can be very, very bold, not so much in tannin, but really in fruit, depending on where it's grown. These two grapes working together really make something very, very beautiful, the whole point of a blend. And what we have here is an area that is in southeastern Sicily. The best vineyards are going to be on gentle slopes with southeast exposure. The soils are calcareous, sandy, and clay, so you get some variety of heavy and light wines, or light, sort of flavors together. Lower elevation and higher temperatures, but still the Frappato is going to bring the acidity, so these wines are never going to be too heavy. This is the Nicosia 2020 Sabbie di Sutta Cerasuolo di Vittoria. Nicosia, if you drink wines from Etna, then you may be familiar with them because they also have property on Etna. This is another of their properties in Vittoria, farmed organically, very modern in its cellar technology, 60% Nero d'Avola, 40% Frappato on sandy soils. So we can expect that this wine might be a little bit lighter, which is really lovely. 650 feet above sea level is where these grapes mainly grow. And they try their best really not to over extract from the Nero or the Frappato for both of these grapes to make it a really lovely blend. They do a cold soak to get the color, and then they do 10 to 15 days of a really cool fermentation, which is going to slow down the fermentation and allow the flavor to develop. And they age it mainly in stainless steel vats with a little bit of time in tonneau and a little bit of bottle age. So again, you can see that cold soak in the color. Yes, they've gotten some color here, but they have not over extracted this wine. It is a lovely crimson color, not super dark. You can see your finger through it or read words through it. That means that it's probably not going to be a super heavy wine. Nero d'Avola can often be really big and lumbering. Probably not in this wine from the color alone. We can see that, swirl it around the glass and take a sniff. So what I find interesting about this wine, yes, it has the cherry aromatics of the Nero d'Avola, but it almost has a clay-like note to it. It definitely has some of the floral aromatics, but it smells of earth, which is lovely. It almost has a, in the Rhone and in Provence, they call it garrigue. It has this earthy and herbal note together with the cherry. Let's taste it and see if it tastes like what it smells like. Probably more cherry, a little bit candied in the note of it, but the acidity is so good and fresh. It's a bright wine, not heavy at all, lots of cherry, raspberry notes. It really is a lovely wine, nice medium to even light-bodied wine. So this is going to go really well as maybe with a cheese course. It will be an excellent wine for people who don't like really heavy blends. This is probably the lightest of all of the red blends that we have here, and it really shows that Sicilian wine does not have to be heavy or dark or over oaked. You can barely taste the tonneau, the effect of the tonneau on this wine, and it really has a lot of freshness to it because of that Frappato. An excellent blend, showing that Sicily has another side of it besides just heavy Nero d'Avola. I think you'll love this wine. It is a great contrast to some of the heavier blends in the shipment.